Hello YouTube and welcome to the first Kanto weekly show for week numero uno of PIDA Kanto Division. Now, if you do not know what PIDA is, where have you been? Because there's now been 2 videos up on the channel and it's the most exciting mad league out there on YouTube. So you should definitely go stay subscribed if you are looking forward to some Pokemon International Draft Association action. Now, this show is going to be me analysing every single game in Division Kanto for week number 1 and giving my analysis and overview of all of the games, and at the end we'll go over the tables, the MVPs and whatnot, and we'll sort it all out. But Today, we're going to kick off with week number 1 games, and we're going to start with, switch transition change. We have the Dallas Cabalians, coached by Torman, versus the Hungry Big Boys, coached by Hungry Bidoof. Now, Hungry Bidoof's team consists of, as you can probably see by the bell, Mono Electric. I think he drafted Mono Electric / Mono Steel with Cloyster. I think that's his team. I probably should have done a team overview video for all the teams, but we're started now. So unless you want to see one, let me know down in the comment section down below, and I'll go over all the teams and whatnot, as I probably should have done like last week. But with no internet issues, I've failed to do that. So we're here for our first game. As judging by just purely based on team matchups, Garchomp was the most obvious bring ever to sweep this team because it's Mono Electric / Mono Steel, so just gets wrecked by Earthquake. But he does have 2 Thunderuses and a Zapdos to counter that, but Garchomp also gets Rock Move, so that's by the by. So let's begin with our first game to see how it goes. So he leads with Mega Electric versus Blacephalon. And if I do remember, turn 1, bop. Mega Electric goes down turn 1 to his mind-blown Blacephalon. So, first move of PIDA was mind-blowing. So yeah, obviously does 50% recoil, gets the Beast Boost, switches out into this thing. So I don't know why he switched out, but Sticky Web's good play, because Sticky Web's obviously slows his team down and makes the likes of the Zeraora and whatnot faster. Obviously the Thunder Para on the Venomoth was crucial because obviously with it being Quiver up, it could put in the work against team. Well, at least it would kill the Galvantula, obviously, but you know, that's how it works. So he goes out into his Uxie. Bug Buzz does clean 50% to it. So he goes U-turns out into the Garchomp, which is most probably likely sweeper for this team because it's obviously just spam EQ and just win. So Galvantula goes down and goes out to Thunderous. He clicks Thunderbolt on the Garchomp. Now I don't know why he clicked Thunderbolt against the Garchomp. Probably predicting him to go into either Porygon Z or Uxie or something. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. But then obviously Garchomp gets another kill with Stone Edge, critical hit. Probably doesn't matter because it's a Thunderous and it's a Garchomp for goodness sake. So yeah, so Garchomp picked up 2 kills there. Goes out into Zeraora, goes for the close combat. It lives on 6% and goes for EQ and because of close combat minus defense drop, Zeraora goes down. Now, this is where things get interesting because the Thunderous goes for the bulk up to brace itself for the incoming Stone Edge or Dragon Claw. He does get a critical hit, which can't be helped. So he's probably thinking, oh, I can probably live a hit now because he pulls out the rest on the Thunderous. Resto, Chesto, Thunderous. My goodness. Goes for Dragon Claw, does 35%. Goes for another bulk up. Goes to live the next Dragon Claw. Then he goes for the Fly, Goes for Stone Edge, it misses. Now, goes for the fly, kills the Garchomp, gets hit by recall, Garchomp's down. Probably the late game sweeper he probably wanted for Torment and the Daz Cabalions. Now, Thunderous is +2/+2 with not very many health left, and Torment's obviously got this Blacephalon, Celebi, Uxie, and Porygon Z left. So hopefully the Sticky Webs will help him out in this situation. Goes for the Thunder Punch, which OHKOs the Porygon Z. Because obviously Stab, not super effective, but it's +2. It's not doing that hit. So the Webs could help the hungry big boys pick up the first W of the season. Now, Uxie's fat, so lives the Thunder Punch. Goes for the knockoff, which does nothing, and kills with the Thunder Punch in return. Goes out into his Celebi, and he switches straight back out into Blacephalon, predicting the fly on Shocking. And then Blacephalon goes for Mind Blown, killing itself with the recoil. So Blacephalon goes down unnecessarily, but Shocking then fails his fly because there was... The animation didn't happen, but he went for fly, he missed, and he went for fly again on Celebi because obviously it will kill a Celebi because it's +2 stab from a Tornadus. I keep saying Tornadus, it's a Thunderous. It's a Thunderous. But obviously Celebi goes for sub, fly breaks the sub. He goes for the Leech Seed to swallow the Thunderous to death, but the Thunderous goes for rest again. Celebi gets behind a sub, and Celebi just pretty much stalls from this point on, if I do remember. Goes for the Sidekick, doesn't do that much damage, if I'm being honest, but the stally tactics from this Celebi will eventually kill the Thunderous. Now it's just Zapdos versus Celebi, and Celebi's behind the sub. Zapdos goes for its Z Tailwind to get a +1 crit chance, and also faster. So Celebi goes for Leech Seed, Drill Peck, critical hit, breaks the sub. Psychic gets a crit back, which is amazing. Drill Peck does 41%. I don't think a crit wouldn't have killed either way. So that down goes to Zapdos, and the Dallas Cabalions win the first game 1-0 against the Hungry Big Boys. Now, main topics to get from that, 2 MVPs were obviously Garchomp, because they got 3 kills, killing Zeraora, Galvantula, and one of the Thunderouses. And obviously for the Hungry Big Boys was definitely Thunderous Incarnate, because he got 4 kills and put in the finals work with the Bulk Up Rest Chesto set. So hopefully the Hungry Big Boys can come back next week and pick up a W against... who are they playing? Let me just consult my notes. They are playing the Calgary V-Create, so hopefully in that game they can pick up the W and win a game. And the Dallas Cabalions are up against the Victoria Victinis. So hopefully maybe they can get 2 wins and gain that extra step up to promotion. There's no promotion in Kanto, to win Division Kanto for Season 1. Now, we move on to game number 2, which involves the New England Blizzards, coached by Vixen, versus the Quinnipiac Quillfish. The Quinnipiac Quillfish, who is the coach, and their team name is New Haven Nut. Now, there is the same as in the first game where it was mono electric. This team is also a mono team. It's mono flying / levitate. So unlike Hungry Big Boys, who are only weak to Earthquake, this team, the entire team is immune to Earthquake. So hopefully that Crocodile does not have Earthquake on it. But as you can probably tell, the New Haven Nut do have on their team Mega Latias, Rotom Mo, Gyarados, Moltres, Latios, and Dojo. And the New England Blizzards have Crocodile, Victini, Mega Diancie, Jetsi, Volcanion, and Crobat. So, judging by match up, Crocodile puts in the work against obviously the 2 Latis because of Dark type, obviously. Victini puts in the work because of Victini. Mega Diancie puts in the work against the Dojo. Jetsi is bulky as hell, special bulky, and Only Gyarados and Dojo are physical attackers, so should ball the rest of the team. Volcanion works against the Rotom, I guess, and the Moltres, and Crobat does just Crobat. And yeah, so let's kick off with game number 2 and see. So he leads with the and as the same as the first game, turn 1 we get a kill with Crocodile Pursuit on the Latios, which is his not Mega, because Mega's the Latias, not the Latios. But yeah, Pursuit trapping turn 1. Fantastic play by Vixen there. Fantastic play by Vixen. Now, down goes the, let's get the Moxie boost, goes out into the Gyarados. Now, the Thunder Fang miss. I do not know, that probably mattered because +1 Thunder Fang, this Gyarados would have dropped. 100% would have dropped. But the miss allows the Gyarados to click the Waterfall button and OHKO the Crocodile. So, in the long game, as you probably will tell by the rest of this match, if this Gyarados went down earlier, it could have been a different game. It could have been a different game. Because this Gyarados also gets the Moxie boost. So Moxie v Moxie right now. Goes out into Chansey! And then the Gyarados goes for the Dragon Dance on the Chansey. Free setup as it goes for the Toxic. Gets the Poison on the Gyarados. And then Gyarados goes for Z, Supersonic Sky Strike. The Chansey lives on 1% to a Stab +2 bounce-powered Supersonic Sky Strike. Chansey is one bulky mother trucker. And it's a thick Pokemon. And yeah, wasn't expecting it to live the hit if I'm being totally honest. Then he switches out into the Volcanion, predicting the Waterfall. And obviously is immune to it with Water Absorb. Gyarados takes some toxic damage. EQ. Bop goes to Volcanion. So, as of right now, Gyarados is on 2 kills, and it could have died turn 2 if that Crocodile landed that Thunder Fang. Now, goes into Crobat, goes to the Waterfall, OHKOs the Crobat, down gets to +3, and the toxic damage kills off on the Gyarados. Now, the toxic damage on the Gyarados probably helped Vixen in the long run, because if not, this Gyarados would have swept. This Gyarados would have swept if it wasn't for the toxic damage on that Chansey. So, because it'll still be at nearly full health, the Mega Diancie goes for the Mega Diancie Mega Evolves, drops to the Gyarados as well, and the Gyarados drops to Toxic. So, Gyarados pretty much dealt a massive dent into this team, because obviously Gyarados killed the Crocodile, killed the Volcanion, killed the Crobat, killed the Mega Diancie, but because the Chansey got the Toxic off on the Gyarados, was managed to kill it after sacking half his team. So it goes out into Victini. Now this is the crucial play, because at this point the New England Blizzards are down and out, because they are 4-2 down and they only have a Victini and a Chansey left at 1%. So pretty much they only have Victini left. So this is where the game changes, because the Victini goes for Z Celebrate, giving it a +1 in every single stat. Now, so now outspeed a Dojo, goes for Searing Shot, down goes a Dojo, goes out into Latios, Mega Latias, goes for Dazzling Gleam, it lives the hit, but then the Mega Latias goes for Calm Mind. So it can possibly Dazzling Gleam. Gets a crit on the Mega Latias with the Dazzling Gleam. Now, it would have lived the initial hit because it was a +1, and last time it did 47%. It probably would have done around the 30% mark this time. So it would have lived the hit. Probably would have went for the Shadow Ball. Probably would have killed the Victini and would have won the game. But unfortunately, it's Pokemon. Expect the unexpected. Expect the crits. Expect the misses. So down goes that. That's GG, because Moltres comes in, 50%, dies for a Psychic. Rotom comes in, dies for a Searing Shot. So yeah, so that was the first comeback pretty much, of PIDA, because he was 4-2 down, or basically 4-1 down, if I'm being totally honest. Came back, picked up the W, thanks to your boy Victini, Uki. Uki put in the work this week, and obviously Uki and Gyarados put in the work for both teams this week. So maybe Victini won't get promoted because, you know, it's in Tier 1, so can't get promoted. But Gyarados is on the path to being promoted next season. Now, yeah, the crucial plays in that game, obviously the Thunderfang miss and the crit on the Mega Latias, because both those plays could have changed the game. Could have honestly could have changed both the games. Now, next up, we have Power Squad, coached by Berry, Tony, Nico, Checkmate Ben, and Strumpf. 5 coaches. Each coach plays 3 games a season, and this week it's coached by Strumpfel. So expect a good game. Expect a game because Strumpf is a very good battler. Up against the Greenland Guzzlords, coached by Dr. Piplup, and as you can see by the teams, Dr. Piplup and the Greenland Guzzlords is rocking Talonflame, Mega Camerupt, Magearna, Galissapod, Gardevoir, and Meloetta. And the Power Squad, coached by Strumpf, are rocking Scolipede, Umbreon, Manaphy, Mew, Mega Heracross, and Snorlax. Now, judging by type matchup, the double fire against Scolipede and Heracross are very good. He doesn't really have anything stab-wise to touch the Manaphy, so that could be an issue for the Green and Guzzlords. And obviously having Camerupt and Talonflame, Manaphy does put in the work against the team. So let's see how this game pans out, shall we? So that game had music on it. My bad. So turn 1 leads with Magearna versus Mew, and obviously Mew goes for the Thunder Wave to slow down the Magearna, but Magearna goes for Trick Room, so he just made Magearna so much faster. So Magearna switches out, Volt switches out on the Mew, out into the Mega Camerupt, as the Mew puts rocks up on the other side of the field. Now, this is the maddest play ever in PIDA. I know we're only in our 3rd game, but it's mad. We've had Z Celebrate, we've had Bulk Up Rest Shenanigans with a Thunderous, and now we have a Mega Camerupt under Trick Room, landing its first fissure against a Snorlax. Mad. So, Mega Camerupt puts in the finals to work under Trick Room, gets a kill on the Snorlax with Fissure, and mad. That is actually mad. I was speechless when I saw this game for the first time. I was absolutely speechless, because obviously my luck is atrocious, so I would never land that Fissure, but hey ho, there we go. But he lands the Fissure, but then misses the Fire Blast the next turn. Because Pokemon makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. But the Mew goes for Hail. Now, this is an interesting play. Because the Mew goes for Hail. Came out with Bishop to second Fissure, but the Mew gets an Aurora Veil up. It's obviously... So, Hail, Aurora Veil, Mew. Fantastic set. Would never see that coming whatsoever. It's an interesting play. Trick Room ends. As you go down to the Umbreon. Camerupt goes for the Fissure again. So at this point, he's just spamming Fissure. And you'll notice a pattern in this game. Because Celebrate comes again. This time on an Umbreon behind Aurora Veil. Which is absolutely more disgusting than against the Victini. Because Umbreon is bulky, gets Wish, gets Toxic. Obviously Victini gets Toxic. But it's a bulky Mon behind Aurora Veil with +1 every stat. So, yeah. Let's see if the Green and Guzzlords can deal with this Umbreon. Goes for the Fissure, misses. Goes for the Fissure and misses. And then the Umbreon decides to go for double teams. So, making it impossible to hit. Then the Camerupt goes for the sub. As the Umbreon keeps going for double teams. As the Camerupt just keeps spamming Fissure. Gets double team to +2. Gets to +3. And the camera up lands the fissure against the +3 evasion boosted Umbreon behind the sub. So the Umbreon is gone. 2 Mons on this team have died to fissure. Crazy. This is what PIDA is all about. This is what PIDA is all about. The main camera up is behind the sub. And out he comes out. The Scolipede, who goes behind the sub as well, goes for the Fire Blast, breaks the sub, gets the +1 speed boost. And the Scolipede goes for Protect to get another speed boost. Goes for the Fire Blast, as you do. Gets to +2. Scolipede goes back behind the sub to get more speed up as the camera up keeps spamming Earth Powers and Fire Blasts and whatnot. Keeps going. More speed boosts, more speed boosts, more speed boosts. Healing up with Black Sludge, gets to +3 speed. Vampires out into Manaphy. And the Fire Blast does tasty amount of damage to the Wooper. Wooper? It's Wooper with arms, it's the Manaphy. It is a Manaphy. Goes for the Scald. Breaks the sub, obviously. Gives that Earth Power. Manaphy lives on 7%. Don't know if that was a roll or not, but if it was, that was a big play. Goes out into Gardevoir. Traces the hydration as his Manaphy goes for Scald. Gardevoir just easily hit up for days, so it must be like Assault Vest or especially bulky. Goes for the Psy Shock, and the Manaphy is down, so all them speed boosts were for nothing. And at this stage, Green and Girls are looking in a good shape, being 6-3 up against the Power Squad. But goes back out into the Mew as it goes for the Hail. Or it doesn't, it goes for the Thunder Wave. My bad. Goes for the Thunder Wave to try and paralyze the Gardevoir. But goes back out into the Magearna to set up another Trick Room, I would imagine. Yes, it does, with the Scolipede coming in. Also switches out into Talonflame. It does go down to Talonflame as the Scolipede goes for Substitute. That speed boost up. But instead of Protect, Sub-Protect, Scolipede, disgusting. But this Talonflame's going for Acrobatics over Brave Bird, so it must be dropping no item to get the boosted Acrobatics boost. So that's always nice to know. Go for the Acrobatics, Subs-Phases on the Scolipede. Go to another Substitute to get their Baton Pass shenanigans up. Stalling out the Trick Room turns. Definitely stalling out the Trick Room turns. Stalling out those Trick Room turns as he goes for the Baton Pass out into the Mega Heracross, who will live the Acrobatic because it's behind a sub. And now Mega Heracross is at +3 speed with Rock Blast. Okay, the Talonflame. Go down to Magearna. Goes for the Earthquake. The Magearna lives on 30% as the Magearna survives and goes for Trick Room to make this Mega Heracross the slowest Mon known to man. Goes for Dazzling Gleam. It lives to Dazzling on 24%. Goes for the Earthquake. Kills the Magearna. Goes down to Meloetta. Mega Heracross switches out into Mew. Then Headbutt. So preserving the Mega Heracross for late game is a smart play because Mega Heracross puts in the work against the Gardevoir, the Meloetta. If he's got Earthquake, it'll put work against the Camerupt, and Rock Blast will definitely put work against the Galistopod. So saving that for late game is always crucial. Now the Power Squad just need to outstall the Trick Room turns. Smart play by Dr. Pip there because predicting the Thunder Wave goes out into Gardevoir to synchronise the Thunder Wave back onto the Mew to slow that down as well. Goes for the Hail again to get that Aurora up to allow the Heracross to sweep late game. Gardevoir goes for the Moonblast. Mew is out of action at this point. Stack off the Mew, as you do. Gardevoir dies to Hail. Out comes the Galistopod. Out comes the Scolipede. Scolipede is obviously going to get some speed boots off up into the Mega Heracross to sweep late game. So the Scolipede gets up to like +1/+2 with a Substitute up. Knockoff does not break the sub. Hail ends. Aurora still has 5 turns left because we know from before that it does have is holding the Light Clay. The Mega Heracross is behind the Aurora behind the sub at +2 speed. This is game over. Because Rock Blast is going to do the most to force Galistopod to exit, emergency exit, switch out into Meloetta. Meloetta's going to die to a Pin Missile. And then when Gallistopod comes in next, it's going to die as well. And so is Mega Camerupt. So that is another comeback victory because they were 6-3 down, but Power Squad have come through and won the game 2-0. So MVP was obviously Mega Heracross with the help of Mew. And shout out to the Mega Camerupt for getting 2 kills with Fissure. Now, obviously, you can't predict what the Power Squad are going to do each week because there's obviously 5 different coaches who build in completely different ways. So next week, you might see a completely different style of battle, and then so on and so on and so on. So hopefully,
the answer to your calculation is 777.
Didn't even say a calculation. Did not even say a calculation. Anyway, so the Power Squad, I didn't even mention who New England Blizzard or New Haven Nut are playing next week. But Power Squad next week are playing the Black Sea Curums. And the Green and Guzzlords are playing New Haven Nut. Look at that. So hopefully Green and Guzzlords can pick up redemption victory against New Haven Nut next week. And the Power Squad can maybe... we could see another battle next week because they play the Black City Curums. Now, game number 4. We are now this is our 4th game out of 8. So this is our mid game of this video. And we are watching the Peoria Pidgeots versus the Wellington Ho-Oh. Now, the Peoria Pidgeots are coached by JJ. And the Wellington Ho-Ho are coached by Starving Pig. Now, looking at team matchups, the JJ has brought Greninja, Ash Greninja. No, it's not. It's just normal Greninja. Heatran, Darmanitan, Mega Scizor, Silvally, and Alomomola. And the Wellington Ho-Ho have brought Celesteela, Megazord X, Rotom Wash, Tyranitar, Necrozma, and Whimsicott. So, judging by type matchup, double fire with a Whimsicott. And the Celesteela there, gone. Megazord X, so if the sun was up, there would have been, like, deaths. With Darmanitan and the sun, nothing of that hit. Nothing of that hit. So that was good. Rotom is there, because Rotom is good in this matchup, because it beats the Greninja, the Alomomola, the Heatran, and the Darmanitan. Throwing HP Fire, it can sweep the entire team. Besides the Silvally, depending on what typing it is. So, yeah. Let's kick off our 4th game with Darmanitan versus Rotom Wash. As you turned out, turn 1 Pain Split. Turn 1 Pain Split. Don't understand that play, if I'm being totally honest. I probably would have Volt Switched out or clicked the Hydro Pump button. But that's just me. I don't know what I was thinking there. Maybe Darmanitan to, like, Rock Slide or Flare Bits his thing and do like 50-60% and just Pain Split the damage back off. That's probably what he's thinking. Now thinking about it, it's probably a good play. Thinking about it now. But you know, that's just by the by. Mega Scizor comes in, Hydro Pump, does 46%, goes for the U-turn. So the only move the Peoria Pidgeots have used so far is U-turn. Goes out into Greninja and he uses Dark Pulse. And the flinch. The flinch is key because this Rotom's probably going to go for the Volt Switch or Pain Split or have a Hydro Pump. That Dark Pulse flinch could have changed the game. Switch out into Celesteela. Dark Pulse does not a lot to this Celesteela. Out comes the Alomomola. As Celesteela goes for Leech Seeds. Goes for all the Leech Seeds. Now, interesting tech right now because this Alomomola just went for Soak on a Celesteela. Now, as you'll probably tell by the next play, you'll understand why it's a Soak Alomomola. Because he goes into Rotom, goes for the Toxic. So, the plan there was to Soak the Celesteela to make it a Water type. So, the Alomomola could Toxic the Celesteela and be able to whittle down the Celesteela with Toxic damage, which is a very, very smart play. And if he would have stayed in, would have been fantastic. But obviously, it didn't work because he switched out. But hey ho, what are you going to do about it? Boy Toy's in right now. He's going to switch out into his Silvally as he goes for the Pain Split again. Which is interesting. So this Silvally is a Fairy type, I think. Now Silvally goes for Parting Shot because Parting Shot is a fantastic move because on Silvally because it allows you to switch into a Mon, set up with that Mon because the other Mon can't touch you because it's -1 on both stats, and puts in the work. So out comes the Heatran. Instead he goes for Protect. Goes for the Lava Plume. So it doesn't set up, but just goes for pure damage. Goes down to Boy Toy. Goes to Lava Plume. And this is a very crucial play of the game because the Rotom misses its Hydro Pump, which probably would have killed the Heatran because it's rocking Z Solar Beam, which knocks out the Rotom Wash. So that Hydro Pump miss was a very, 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 very crucial play. So yeah, that was a very bad. I mean, that was a fantastic lucky play, I want to say, because I don't know how much damage that Hydro Pump would have done. It might have OHKO'd the Heatran. It might have done. Maybe I'm underestimating Heatran right now, but it probably would have OHKO'd. Goes out into Megazord X as it goes. Heatran goes for Ancient Power. And does 42% to the Megazord X. So it goes for the EQ and just destroys this Heatran's life because it's quite effective, obviously. So Megazord X comes in, does the most, gets a revenge kill. As Whimsicott switches in against the Domantan, which is a very risky play because it easily went for Flare Blitz, but he predicts the Earthquake on the Charizard X, lives the Earthquake onto the Domantan, switches out into Mega Scizor, as the Whimsicott goes for Memento, killing itself and making the Mega Scizor useless if it stays in, because obviously -2 in attack and special attack. So this gives him, the Wellington Hero, an opportunity to send out his Megazord X and click a Dragon Dance as the Scizor U-turn switches out into his Silvally. Now, Silvally is Silvally Fairy, so obviously this Dragonite, this Megazord X cannot click Dragon type Dragon Claw, so we'll have to click a Fire type move in Fire Punch. The Silvally lives the hit and clicks Draco Meteor, killing the Megazord X, which is a very, very fantastic bring because obviously Fairy type Silvally with Draco Meteor just counters Megazord X for days because Fire's not going to kill it. I don't think, besides Steel Wing, I don't think Megazord X gets a Steel/Poison type move. So very good play there by the Pure Pidgeots. So Megazord X is down. Out comes Jim, the Necrozma, setting up Calm Minds. Parting Shot. Obvious play. I think that was obvious, going for Parting Shot. Goes out into Domanitan. Then he switches out into Tyranitar. Now this shows how truck hitting Domanitan is, because U-turn does 54% to a Tyranitar. Then he goes switches out into Greninja. Going to Celesteela. U-turn again. So at this point, half his team rocking U-turn. So this team has very good switch initiative. So he goes out into his Celesteela. Domanitan, sorry. Goes for Protect. Goes for the Flare Blitz now. He switches out into his Domanitan at this point, expecting to live the Flare Blitz incoming. But it's a Domanitan. You're not living that hit with a Flare Blitz. I'm sorry. Even if you are a Tyranitar, you're dying, as you can see by that play. So he goes out into Celesteela, goes for the Protect, Flare Blitzes again, goes out into Necrozma, U-turns out, predicting that switch out. Good play by the Pure Pidgeots there. U-turns out into his Greninja, which U-turns again, and goes out into Scizor. Goes to the Earth Power, lives on 5%. Now I don't know if that was a roll, or it just lives to hit every day of the week. Probably just lives to hit every week. Doesn't matter because Necrozma outspeeds and goes for an Earth Power again. And this is where Domanitan just sweeps the rest of the team because Flare Blitz OHKOs this Celesteela, and Domanitan dies to recoil, but does get a tasty 3 kills in its first game. So there we go. Pure Pidgeots win the game 3-0. Now, Shadowmon's on the team, obviously Domanitan, rocking 3 kills. Heatran The Z grass type on the Heatran. So it's clutch. The techs on both sides were actually pretty good. With Soap Toxic, Memento Whimsicott, set up Dragon Dance to paired with the Memento. Whimsicott is great. The flinch though, I don't know if that flinch mad. On top. No, the Hydro Pump miss was a big play, big miss. Because I still think, to God of me, that Heatran would have died to a Hydro Pump, and Rotom would still be about. And Rotom puts in the work against his last 3 mons. Because the value wasn't on that much, was on low health, and Electric would have put in the work against the Greninja and Yellow Mola. So maybe it would have been a different game if that Heatran died to that Hydro Pump, but you'd never know. Obviously, the Silvally play was very crucial. Very crucial, very good. Living the +1 Fire Punch, then clicking Dracoby into Oko, the Charizard X in return. So, that was game number 4 between the Puro Pidgeots and the Wellington Ho-Oh. The Puro Pidgeots are playing the Sugar City Swirlix next week, and Wellington Ho-Oh are playing New England Balance. Blizzard, sorry. Balance? Blizzards. New England Blizzards. So yeah, that is next week's games for both the Wellington Ho-Oh and the Puro Pidgeots. Now, move on to game number 5, and we are rocking right now. We have the Sydney Shamans, coached by, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Vicyclon, he'll probably shout at me in the comments for saying his name wrong. I promise I'll learn how to say it by next video if you tell me how to say it, because I'm an idiot. And Pesky Skitty, coach of the Ottawa Garchomps. Now, looking at teams, obviously Sydney Shamans are rocking Ferrothorn, Tapu Lele, Infernape, Jolteon, Mega Pidgeot, and Slurpuff. And the Ottawa Garchomps are rocking Suicune, Gengar, Heliolisk, Florges, Azelf, and Rhyperior. Now, just judging by matchups, Slurpuff can put in the work if it gets the +2, belly gets a belly drum off. Obviously, Gengar can really wall it. Mega Pidgeot has got Rhyperior and Heliolisk there, so doesn't actually get there. Jolteon, Rhyperior again. Tapu Lele, mainly Ghost type Gengar can do the work against it. Ferrothorn. Only fire really there. Ferrothorn is good in that match. Infernape is also good to match up, but it's not though, really. It's got Azelf, a Rhyperior, and a Suicune right there. So, on paper, I feel like just because it's a Tapu Lele, I've got to say that the Sydney Shamans look in clutch, but obviously Tapu Lele is tier 4, so can't be that great, can it? Can't be that great, can it? So let's kick off our 5th game. So we lead off with Scarfnate versus Heliolisk. You go switch out into the Suicune. U-turn again. 2 games in a row where U-turn's been U-turn 1. Mad. Goes out into his Ferrothorn. Down to Heliolisk as he goes for the Stealth Rocks. Protect. He goes for Hidden Power. Most likely Hidden Power Fire. So predicting the Hidden Power Fire, he goes out. No, he doesn't. He goes to the Thunderbolt. Goes for Leech Seed on the Heliolisk. Suck up all that HP. Rhyperior comes out, which I think was a risky play because Power Whip or Iron Head could have been incoming, and I think Rhyperior is weak to Steel because Rock is. I don't think Ground resists it. So Fire Punch does a lot of damage to this Ferrothorn. He does have the Power Whip, and he does miss the Power Whip, which is unfortunate because this Rhyperior would have been bopped, most probably, because even Solid Rock would not. I mean, it's a Ferrothorn, so I'm not expecting it to. It might have lived if it had Bolt behind it, the Rhyperior, but that Power Whip was a crucial miss for the Sydney Shamans. He goes for Fire Punch again. So my thinking, like, this thing is banded. Gets a fire punch against the Tapu Lele. Does 44% to a Tapu Lele. So I'm thinking it is banded. Choice band of Hyperia. Then the Tapu Lele just revenge kills it with Engible. Even though nothing died. It's not a revenge kill. But anyway, Tapu Lele kills the Hyperia with Engible. Goes out into the Gengar. As he goes out into the Ferrothorn, goes to Shadow Ball, which allows the Ferrothorn goes down to the Gengar with Shadow Ball. Goes out into the Mega Pidgeot, predicting the Gengar was obviously Scarf or Spexed to do that much damage to Ferrothorn. He must have thought it was choice, otherwise he wouldn't have gone to Mega Pidgeot. But Mega Pidgeot comes out against the Florges, goes for the Hurricane, doesn't do any damage to the Florges, because Florges is a special bulky boy, gal, shall I say, Burb Jesus. So the Wish Support Florges will just wall this Mega Pidgeot for days, because Hurricane's doing nothing to it. Like, legit nothing to this Florges. So he goes for the U-turn, switches out into the Jolteon, goes for another Wish. Thunderbolt does nothing again. Goes for that Moonblast. So I don't know why he's staying in just kicking Thunderbolt when this thing's a special wall. And well, there's the paralysis. Now, this is where things get interesting, because Florges gets paralysed, fully paralysed on that turn. Goes for another Thunderbolt. He gets fully paralysed 2 turns in a row. This Jolteon would be dead if it wasn't for those powers. And as you'll see later in the game, that does play into effect, because Jolteon does come back and put in some work. So out comes Skurfnape. Now this is a good play by the Ottawa Garchomps. Predicting the Infernape to come in against the Helisk. Goes for Surf. Oko's the Infernape, which is a mad play. Like, legit, crazy, mad play. So, yeah. That is mad play. Good play. Out comes the Slurpuff. Goes for the Thunderbolt. Eats a Citrus. Goes for the Belly Drum. Unburn and boosted at 19%. Goes for Drain Punch. So heals up to half again. So Unburn and Slurpuff is always a problem. So yeah, I've been playing with some tests with a Slurpuff recently, and it does put in the finest of work. So can it put in work here? No, because the Gengar outspeeds, goes for Destiny Bond, making sure that it takes down the Slurpuff with it, which is a fantastic play, because that threat is down. Gengar is down as well. So yeah, good play by the Ottawa Garchomps there. Out comes the Suicune versus Jolteon. So Thunderbolt just flat out Oko's the Suicune, as you do, and comes the Azelf. Thunderbolt just Oko's the Azelf, and that is GG to the Sydney Shamans. Key play in that game was the double power on the Florges, because if that would have happened, this Johto wouldn't be here, and this Johto would not have become the MVP of the game, picking up 3 kills. So those powers were very crucial. Obviously, the Unburdened Belly Drum Slurpuff was a problem, but the Destiny Bond Gengar put in the finest of work to deal with that issue. And obviously, they talked about the Healer switching on the Surf was a very crucial play, because obviously Oko's the Infernape, which puts in the work against the Azelf at the end. So no, it didn't. What did Infernape wreck at the end of the game? Nothing, because he had Azelf, Gengar, and Helisk late game, and Infernape just put in the work against none of them besides the Helisk. Anyway, move random on there, and then obviously Wish Support on the Florges would have been nice, but Dull Power made it die, so did not put in as much work as it wanted to do in that game. So that is game number 5 against the Sydney Shamans, who play the Sinnoh Starlets next week, and the Ottawa Garchomps are playing the Boston Cyndaquils. So hopefully we can rock up some more games, and Jolteon can put in some more work, and hopefully Florges won't get power fused next week. Now we move on to game number 6, which is the Sinnoh Starlets, coached by Blind Messiah Sean, versus the Victoria Victinis, coached by Devil Gamer. Now, both of these members are part of the PIDA board, so hopefully they can put in the work. A PIDA board battle, so hopefully it can be a good game. I mean, it can't be a close game because it's the end of the video, but that's by the by. So, Sinnoh Stars are rocking Hooper Unbound, Mega Marwile, Mimikyu, Stakataka, Sylveon, and Goodra. And the Devil Gamer is rocking Pelipper, Kingdra, Seismitoad, Hippowdon, Excadrill, and Hitmonlee. So, obviously, Devil's team is weather because he has water, sun, and sand on his team. I don't think he has ice or hail. I don't think he has ice on his team, but I think he has the 3. So he has options each week to see what he can play around with. And obviously, Hooper Unbound can put in the final one against him. He's probably rocking Trick Room on the Stakataka, so that shuts down the water Swift Swim shenanigans on the Seismitoad and the Kingdra. And obviously, Excadrill Sand can put in the work against him as well. So on paper, it looks like 50-50. It looks slightly more to the Devil Gamer side, the Victoria Victinis, but we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? So, leads with 2 Fake versus Worst Ben. That is correct. That is correct. So, there we go. Turn 1 again. What is up with this? What is up with this week? We've had that 3rd or 4th game we've had so far where Bond drops turn 1 like that, just like that. So Hooper Unbound just OHKOs Hippowdon, just like that. Down goes Hippowdon, and yeah. Now Molester comes out, the Excadrill, on predicting an EQ, goes down to a Stakataka, which is holding an air balloon, and can, live any hit. Goes for the Iron Head, pops the balloon, as the Stakataka goes for Trick Room. So, this is looking very interesting for the Sinnoh Starlets at this point, because Earthquake just OHKOs the Excadrill, Crit does not matter because it's an Excadrill, and Beast boosted on the Trick Room. There goes the Pelipper, by goes the Rain, switches out into Jumpman, misses the Rock Slide. To be fair, it wouldn't have done that much to a Hitmonlee because it's resisted. It is stab at +1, but it probably would have done about 50-60%. So yeah, goes for the Durable, OHKOs that Hitmonlee, and there goes +2 Stakataka. Rain comes out comes the Seismitoad. My boy Wiggle the Seismitoad, goes for the Earth Power, goodbye. Stakataka. And then out comes the Mimikyu versus this thing. This thing obviously has Sludge Wave, so yeah, goes for that. Goes for Trick Room again. So Sean's team starts our Trick Room to counter out the speed, Swift Swimming shenanigans of this team. So it goes for the Play Rough, does nothing to Seismitoad because Seismitoad is a fat boy. Misses the Hydro Pump. That probably mattered because that would definitely have killed in rain from a Seismitoad. I'm sorry, it would have done. So that is a very, very crucial play on that part. So this time the Mimikyu goes for the Destiny Bomb because Hydro Pump does in fact kill, and the Mimikyu takes down the Seismitoad with it. So out comes the Sylveon, who late game just, puts in the finest of work against the rest of the team. Goes for the Hyper Voice to outspeed the Nigel, knocking that out with Hyper Voice. And then the Kingdra comes out, goes for the Z Splash. Don't know why he revealed that tactic when he already lost the game. Goes for the Hyper Voice, which OHKOs the Kingdra. That was a very quick game. It was a very good 4-0 win for the Sinnoh Stars in their Week 1 game. And MVP of that game has to be both Stakataka and Sylveon, because Stakataka obviously with the air balloon play. Very much ruled the Excadrill with air balloon. Was able to set up that trick room against it, kill the Excadrill, kill the Hitmonlee, and put in the work until the Seismitoad came along with the rain. So setting up that rain while Stakataka was under trick room was crucial, because then after the trick room ended, he could switch into the Seismitoad / the Kingdra and be able to deal with that problem. After that, what else have I got here? Obviously, Grass Knot turn 1 kill on Hooper Unbound. Good play. I didn't even know Hooper Unbound got Grass Knot, so that's a good play. That's probably what Devil wasn't expecting to have Grass Knot, because that's why he kept it in. But there you go. Obviously, Mimikyu was Trick Room to counteract the Swift Swim Kingdra, Swift Swim Seismitoad. Destiny Bomb was a good bring to OK the Seismitoad, obviously, on the Trick Room to outspeed that and kill that. And talk about Stakataka and Sylveon. Late game sweeper, killed the Kingdra and the Pelipper. Under Trick Room, they'd outspeed the... If it was under Trick Room, things might... Because it was under Trick Room, it put in the final work, because Sylveon isn't the fastest one out there, but does put in the work when it needs to. And obviously, Seismitoad on the other side for the Victoria Victinis. Swift Swim shenanigans can put in the work with Swift Swim Seismitoad. Don't sleep on I'm telling you now, do not sleep on Seismitoad this season. It is going to put in the finals of work for the Victoria Victinis. And obviously, Kingdra has revealed Z-Splash. So, if you're playing Victoria Victinis in the future, and you're watching this video, expect Z-Splash Kingdra. Yes, so, that is it for the 6th game of the PIDA. Don't know why I dabbed there, but, you know, here we go. Now, game number 7, we have the Black City Curums, coached by Zombie, versus the Calgary V-Creates, coached by Hacker. Now, the Black City Curums have brought Tornadus Firion, Tapu Koko, Comfey, Comfey, Clefable, Slowbro, Steelix, Curum Black, as you do, and the Calgary V-Creates have brought Jirachi, Tapu Koko, Tangrowth, Toxapex, Hawlucha, and Alolan Ninetales. Now, judging by matchup, the Calgary V-Creates have Aurora Veil, Ninetales, and Hawlucha under terrain. So, Unburdened Hawlucha, so that can put in the work. And the other team have got 2 bulky boys in Clefable and Slowbro, and Steelix to be that, and then 2 hard-hitting Tornadus and Curum Black, and Comfey is utility. So, judging by matchup, if the Calgary V-Creates can get... Hawlucha hasn't got a great job in this matchup, because it's weak to the Comfey, the Tornadus, the Slowbro, and the Clefable. So, I was going to say, if Hawlucha got his Unburdened boost Pine Aurora Veil, it put in the work, but more than half his team is weak to, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So let us begin with our 7th game of this week 1. So he leads with Jupiter, knocks off the Tapu Koko, knocking off its Life Orb. So we know this thing's Life Orb, goes out into Alolan Ninetales as it goes to the U-turn again. U-turn is the move of the week. Goes out into his Steelix versus the Ninetales. And then he goes for Freeze Dry as Steelix goes for Stealth Rocks. I don't know why Ninetales stayed in against the Steelix, because Durable or Heavy Slam would have wrecked this Mon's life. So I'm surprised it stayed in. But goes out into Tangrowth, thinking that the Heavy Slam, there we go. Does nothing. Rocky Helmet damage. Puts in the work. Now, he switches out into his Comfey as he Leech Seeds it with the Howland Edge Train up. And the Comfey switches out into Tornadus again. Flicking the Giga Drain, all the Earthquake from the Tangrowth. Jirachi comes in and U-turn. Baby! Steelix again. Goes out into Tangrowth. What's he going to go for this time? Roar. Roars out the Ninetales. I think Ninetales stays in at this point, does it? Yeah, he goes for the freeze dry. Does 30%. Heavy slam. Bop. Down goes the Ninetales. And Steelix has a kill. Out comes Tapu Koko. Goes for the Grass Knot. Tapu Koko Grass Knot. So, didn't even know Tapu Koko got Grass Knot. So we're learning Grass Knot Mons every time this week. So Steelix goes down to Grass Knot Tapu Koko. Out comes the Comfey as it goes for the Leech Seed on the Tapu Koko. Goes for the Priority Draining Kiss on the Comfey because of Comatose. Not Comatose. What's he really called? I can't remember. It's I can't remember what it's called, but it does get priority to draining type moves. Or draining moves, yeah. Out comes a Kiln Black against the Tapu Koko. Obviously, it wasn't going to go for a fairy type move against the Comfey. So, that's always nice. Goes for the Earth Power. Tangrowth just eats them up for days. So he goes out and goes for the Earth Power again. Shucker Berry Jirachi coming in clutch because I was predicting him to switch out and go for an Ice type move, most probably. So Zombie predicted Hacker to switch out into Jirachi slash Toxapex probably, predicting the Ice type move, and go for the Earth Power again. Switching Jirachi's rocking the Shucker Berry. Out comes the Slowbro as Jirachi goes for Wish Protect to heal up some more. Slowbro goes for Calm Mind, setting up on the Wish. And goes for Trick Room. So Slowbro under Trick Room at +1. Calm Mind. Scary. Scary boy. Goes for Psychic. Does 90% to a Toxapex. 90% roughly to a Toxapex. One of the most fattest mons in Pokemon. I know it's super effective, but it's still Toxapex goes for Haze, predicting setup for days on his team. Now, Haze puts in the work, gets with that Calm Mind boost, and as a Slowbro just goes for Calm Mind again, and the Toxapex goes for Haze again, predicting the Slowbro to Calm Mind again. So this Slowbro is not allowed to set up, so it just does what it does best, just kills the Toxapex because it can. Out comes the Tangrowth. Tangrowth goes to protect. As the Slowbro goes for Z Psychic on the Tangrowth, doing 34%. So that would have been fun times. Leech Seed comes out. As the Slowbro goes for Calm Mind. Mad. Absolute madness. Giga Drain does nothing to the Slowbro because of Calm Mind. Psychic OHKOs the Tangrowth. So Slowbro now has, what? 2 kills now. Out comes Tapu Koko. Obviously, he's going to switch out this time into Comfey. Thunderbolt does the work. It's Comfey. Out comes Jirachi Synthesis, which gets priority because of the healing ability Comfey has. So, good mon. Out comes Hawlucha. Hawlucha, unburdened, boosted Electric Seed, comes onto the field with Swords Dance. Oh my god, scary. Acrobatics does nothing to it. Substitute, oh my god, absolutely scary. So now it's a low health, like that. Sash, Tornadus, comes in clutch. And OHKOs the Hawlucha, deals with it fine. Deals with it absolutely fine. So, Tornadus Sash just walled Hawlucha. Just walled it. That's always nice. Out comes Tapu Koko. Zombie switched down to his thing, knowing it doesn't have a fairy type move, otherwise it would have clicked it already. So this thing can wall it for days. Out comes a Jirachi as it goes for the Earth Power, because it can do, because both his mons are weak to ground the rest of the late game. Out comes the Slowbro, wishing on his Jirachi, goes for the Surf. OHKOs the Tapu Koko. Out comes the Jirachi, as Jirachi just walls Slowbro with flinching it, gets the wish off, heals off. Ironhead gets the flinch, double flinch for Jirachi. Ironhead again, goes for the Trick Room this time, goes for the Calm Mind as it goes for the Wish stalling it out because Surf is not doing the most, and eventually Ironhead's going to kill it. So what does he do? He switches out into Tornadus And then switches out again into Slowbro to live the Icy Wind. Switches out into Jupiter again. Goes for the Iron Head. This regenerated core he has is very good. Out into Slowbro. Goes for the Iron Head. Goes for the Iron Head again. Slowbro goes for Trick Room. Calm Mind. Protect. Calm Mind again. Staying up to Oko the Jirachi with Surf. Maybe not, but we'll do this time. And Jirachi goes down. And the Black City Curums win 5-0 in their first game of PIDA. Now, main factor to take from that game were obviously the Slowbro Trick Room Calm Mind, Z move, putting the fine to work, being the MVP, getting up 4-0 this game. Late game was very smart by Zombie because obviously Slowbro could not deal with the Jirachi because flinch hacks and wish support would be there all day. So he switched out into Tornadus, back into Slowbro, back into Tornadus to Slowbro to heal them both up to full with your generator. Then was able to send out the Slowbro at full health, get the Trick Room up, get some Calm Mind boosts up, and eventually kill it with Surf. The Raw Heavy Slam Steelix did put in the work, as you do. And yeah, that's about it really. So yeah, GG to Mr. Black Sea Curums and the Zombie and the Black Sea Curums, should I say, who play the Power Squad next week. So good luck in that game. And the Calgary V Creates can turn this game, their week 1 dismay around by playing the Hungry Big Boys and their mono electric type Mons. Now, last game of week 1 is the Sugar Puff City Swirlix, coached by Scurfnape, versus the Boston Cyndaquils, coached by Dylan. Now, the Sugar Puff City Swirlix are rocking Mega Venusaur, Salamence, Ash Greninja, Cresselia, Ribombee, and Krogonal. And the Boston Cyndaquils are rocking Tapu Fini, Mega Gallade, Landorus Therian, Incineroar, Raikou, and Empoleon. Now, on paper, these teams look about 50-50, so let's hop into this last game and see what the dealio is going to be. So, bad lead. That was a bad lead for the Sugar Puff City Swirlix with Raikou leading against Ash Greninja, but switches out into Mega Venusaur as he Volt switches out into his Incineroar. Intimidate drop, but in this matchup, Venusaur is not weak to fire because of thick fat, so Flame Charge is doing nothing to Venusaur, and yeah, it does nothing. So he's going to enter Salamence. The U-turns out into Mega Gallade. Now, Earhart goes for the Draco Mew on the Gallade, making it live on 64% because Gallade is specially bulky. Not many people forget that Gallade and Gardevoir are very specially bulky. So this Draco Meteor, and it goes for Ice Punch, which OKOs to Salamence. So early game, the Boston Cyndaquils are up to a good lead with OKOing the Salamence on the team. Now, goes out into his Ribombee, goes into Empoleon. Sticky Webs are up with, yeah, so like the Mega Venusaur, Krogonal, and Ash Greninja. Most of the Mons are not going to outspeed those, so now, anyway, so out comes Mega Venusaur, and this is where stall happens. So sit back, relax, because between now and turn 30, Venusaur just sits here and stalls. So with Leech Seed, Empoleon doing nothing with Ice Beam, goes out into Incineroar, which will do nothing with Flame Charge. So, yeah, Leech Seed misses. Flame Charge is doing nothing. Just healing up with Leech Seed. Gets you a U-turn. Goes into Raikou. Volt switches out into Incineroar. Gets another Intimidate drop off. Mad. Giga Drain. Yep. So Venusaur just sits here, Synthesis up against the Incineroar because it can do nothing to the team. Nothing on this team can touch the Incineroar. Next, you've got Z Stealth Rocks. He goes for... I don't know why he went for Stealth Rocks at that point. Because if he had Z Fly or Fly, if he had Z Fly, that might have done some damage to his Venusaur. And maybe could have not done this stall for this many turns. But hey ho, he's rocking HP Ice to deal with the Landorus, obviously. Good anti the Incineroar. Giga Drain. More stall happening, so 15 more turns of stall before the Venusaur actually switches out of the field. So this Mega Venusaur is going to be a problem for anyone battling it this season, because Mega Venusaur is a fat mon, which doesn't take no crap from anybody. So we'll just sit back and watch as Mega Venusaur does what Mega Venusaur does. Sits there and just lives any hit you want to go for it. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't gone into Gallade and clicked Psycho Cut, because that probably would have been his best play. But Venusaur eventually kills a Mon with Giga Drain. Goes into Tapu Fini. Goes for Nature's Man's, which he should have probably done ages ago. Tapu Fini easily lives a hit. Goes for Nature's Man's again. Or goes for Defog. Get rid of those webs. Which is very good play, I'm being honest. Then Tapu Fini dives to Giga Drain as well. So Mega Venusaur has picked up 2 kills so far. Out comes the Landorus. Earthquake does nothing. Giga Drain. As you do. Now you're going to click HP Ice. Landorus goes for Earthquake again. Synthesis. And Earthquake. HP Ice. Down goes Landorus. So Mega Venusaur gets up 3 kills this game. Madness. Absolute madness. And we just still sitting here watching Mega Venusaur stall. Watching it. Just keep watching it stall. Just keep watching it stall. And this is the turn it switches out. There we go. Into Ash Greninja. Bring that Flame Charge. Then he goes for the Swart Shuriken to Battle Bond up on his Ash Greninja. To deal with the likes of the Gallade and the Raikou. Raikou comes out. Out he goes into Cresselia? No, Cryogonal, the special defensive wall of Dreams. This proves how special defensive wall this is. This is a Raikou with a Z move. Stab does, what, 29% to a Cryogonal. That is mad. That is absolutely ridiculous. Cryogonal hits back with Ice Beam. Easily lives the Thunderbolt. Cryogonal kills the Raikou, and then Cresselia just comes in and just gets by that powerful knockoff as it goes for the Psyshock. Lives the Psyshock. Skirfnet goes out into his Rabombi and kills the Gallade with Moonblast. So that was, yeah, very stally boy. Mega Venusaur was definitely MVP in that game, picking up 3 kills. Yeah, stally boy. Good HP Ice tech for the Landorus. Obviously, the webs on Rabombi did help against the Venusaur because the likes of like the Landorus and whatnot made the Venusaur outspeed most of his team, which is very good. Cryogonal was the special defensive wall beast, living up the Z electric type move and just walling the Raikou. And the Mega Gallade was also MVP, dealing with that Dragonite, Salamence, living the Draco and killing with Nice Punch. So yeah, so Sugar Puff City Swirlixes are up against the Pura Pidgeots next week, and Boston Cyndaquils can turn this 5-0 loss around by beating the Ottawa Garchomps in their game next week. Now, that is all the games for week number 1 of the PIDA. And before we go, I'm going to have a quick look at the current standings on the PIDA table. Now, in first place right now is the Black City Curubs, who won their game 5-0. Tied in first place for the Sugar Peak Swirlixes We're also in 5 points. So that means in the relegation zone, as of right now, are the Boston Cynicals and the Calgary V-Creates, who both lost their opening games 5-0. So this will definitely change throughout the seasons because there's 14 more weeks of this season. So maybe Zombie won't win. Maybe Dylan Hacker won't get relegated. We'll just have to wait and see until next week's PIDA weekly overview. That has been the overview for week number 1. If you guys have enjoyed, smash that like button down below. Comment of any other things you want me to do in this video or change this video to make it more to make it more interesting for you guys and produce you as much information as you want to about PIDA. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in next week's weekly recap. Bye.